I think the fact that like we have 100% international Chinese students, like that definitely strengthens the atmosphere and in terms of like academic competition and well as our expectations towards our future.
Hi, it's Teru from Our Kids. I recently spoke to Jessica Cai about her experiences at SuOn Academy, a boarding school for international students. Jessica spoke about the rigorous academic curriculum and how it prepared her for leadership positions in university. She also spoke about the accessible support system that the school had. So, Jessica, can you start by giving us a summary of what you've been up to since graduating from SuOn?
Yeah, so I'm a current student at U of T, Rotman, studying commerce. And during my first years, I've gained a lot of incredible experiences. I was involved in different clubs. I took on leadership positions, and I was able to receive Dean's List for my academic excellence. So I would say it's an overall really great experience since I graduated.
Okay, awesome. And how do you think SuOn impacted your decision to attend U of T and take a BCom degree?
Yeah, I think the fact that like we have 100% international Chinese students, like that definitely strengthens the atmosphere and in terms of like academic competition and well as our expectations towards our future. I think that just having that community there really like strongly advised me to go into BCom because I've seen so many success stories from like other graduates that I've met through.
Okay, awesome. And I know you graduated last year, but if you could remember your high school days, what would that high school resume look like for you with all your accomplishments and extracurricular activities?
Yeah, for sure. I'll start with the most recent one. So during like my grade 12 experience, I was the president of student council, and I've also started our school's United Nations Club. And with that, I've led our team to compete in like three competitions across North America. And I feel like that's a great experience for like definitely the highlight for my grade 12 year. And in terms of grade 11, I was the vice president at our school's like student union, and I was also the president of our school's dance club. So there's also a lot of involvements in clubs. And in terms of grades, like I would say, like my overall GPA is pretty average. It was around like 93, like all cumulative. So yeah, that was about it.
Cool. And you said that you enrolled in SuOn at grade 10. If you could take us back to how your family and you decided to attend SuOn, could you give some insight as to that?
Yeah, for sure. So it's an interesting story. So back then when I was in primary school, I obviously went to primary school in China, and then our school had this program that's connected with SuOn, which directly sent students who just graduated from like the primary school. And I think my parents and I were interested in going abroad. So that's why we decided to went into this international primary school. And yeah, it just feels natural for me to go into SuOn after graduating.
And before grade 10 at SuOn, you were taking school in China.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool. And what would you say you appreciate most about having attended SuOn International Academy?
I think the thing that I appreciate the most would be like this bridge that connects the traditional Chinese education system to the Western education system. So, if I were to went to high school in China and then just jump right into like Western universities, I would say the transition wouldn't be as smooth as I'm experiencing right now. So having this bridge and a really supportive community was really helpful counselors and like just peers there like to went through the process with you really creates a good environment.
hmm And I'm sure you had other friends that were going to other private schools. And based on your experience, what would you say differentiates SuOn from other private schools?
Yeah, good question. So I think what differentiates SuOn like from other private school would be I would say like guidance like you receive from counselors and also like the strong academic focus that SuOn has because there were so many, like SuOn have different international students that come here just for the last year of high school. So that means like those students have a really strong background in STEAM subjects, which like that is what Western education system don't really focus on. And I think that having those really competitive students there stimulate my sense of competition and would push me even harder and motivates me to get those high grades.
Okay. And this is a tough question, but if the school could be personified, if it's someone that we could get to know, how would you describe it in 3 words?
I would describe our school in 3 words, and 3 words would be trustworthy, um, hardworking, and genuine.
Okay, so trustworthy, hardworking, and genuine. Could you elaborate on those?
Yeah, for sure. So trustworthy is the first thing that came to my mind when I think of SuOn because that's the main reason why my parents like would send me to SuOn because they've seen like the acceptance rate for getting to top universities, and that's a fact that proves that SuOn has the ability to send students to more advanced education institutions. And secondly, I mentioned that so hardworking. So in terms of hardworking, I think it's just the feeling you get when you're there in the classroom. Like in terms of the students and the teachers, like they're really putting the effort to make sure that you understand the concept and that you're getting the enough knowledge and that you're prepared for universities. And they're willing to go beyond and above in terms of the work they put into to help you to get to your goals. So yeah, that summarized for hardworking. And last but not least will be genuine. I think that like the relationships I've built with my counselors and my students there are really genuine relationships that just nourish me as an individual because like they're always there when I need help, and it's not only in the the academic aspect. So for example, if I'm experiences like real life issues, for example, if I need to like if I'm having a problem with my credit card, I can go to my counselor. If I'm like not feeling well, I need to go to the hospital, I can also talk to my counselor. So they're there for you. They're like a parent, and they're not just a teacher.
Okay. And what would you say SuOn's highest value that they have in actual practice or that you see in actual practice?
I would say discipline because like unlike other private schools that are really flexible on their schedule
Mhm.
and like not control but like their just support for students. I feel like SuOn is really disciplined because the way that they structure a particular day is like they really pushes you to put a lot of time into studying. For example, we have this self-study time during
Mhm.
like every weekdays from 7 to 9, and that really helped me to focus on schoolwork.
Right. Okay. Awesome. And to any family or student that's enrolling into SuOn, what do you think that they would find most surprising about the school?
To be honest, I think the most surprising fact for me is that like how small the dorm room was, and then
Mhm.
yeah, it just looked a bit different from the pictures.
Okay. Okay. And so that surprised you.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then that's a like the uh, more like the bad thing that surprises me. But then I think another fact is that like the food at cafeteria is surprisingly good.
Oh, okay. That's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, And how would you describe the typical student at SuOn?
I would say they're really hardworking and they focus a lot on their schoolwork, and they're a bit quiet and shy.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
typical Chinese student.
oh, okay. And how would you say the school has shaped you as a person today?
I think the most important trait that SuOn offered me or I've gained from experiences will be courage and to say and to step out of my comfort zone. Because, coming from an international background, you're kind of always insecure and you think that you're not good enough. But it's proven fact that the more practice you get, like the better achievements or performance you receive. And I'm a real life example of that. So, um, I wouldn't imagine myself like talking to you, speaking about our school, like from 3 years ago. I was the quiet, shy Chinese girl that I just mentioned as a typical student. But like, see how far I've came. I'm now like taking leadership positions in university, and just talking to native speakers. And like most people thought I'm from here, but yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So, if there's something that you could change about SuOn, what would that be?
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot during my last year of high school, and I think I've really, like tried to realize my goal, and that goal was to have more extracurricular activities and to be, you know, more focused on other aspects besides the academic aspect. So, yeah, just having more clubs and diverse activities that allow students to either practice their interests or, just pick a new hobby.
Okay. And I know you've only been 1 year removed from SuOn, um, but looking back, how do you think your perspective about the school has evolved in the past year?
I think the biggest change in my perspective would be like um, how appreciated I am. So like graduating, I'm like, oh, I'm going to university. I don't need to like stay in this place for one more day. But thinking back to then, I feel like high school is such a comfort zone that allows you to try and fall and learn from your failures. But for university, I think it's just more overwhelming and more competitive in general.
Okay. And would you recommend that students enroll at SuOn?
Yeah, definitely.
And what would be the three biggest reasons why?
Okay. I think the most reason will be the one will give you a like solid academic background that you need for entering to university. And for that, they have different courses, and there are also AP courses that you can take to help you prepare for university courses. And also, secondly, I think that especially targeted towards Chinese international students, like we all need this like bridge or like we need an actual lift when it comes to adjusting to university life or like different education systems. I think that's the one will be a perfect choice for international students who's looking for more support in their, you know, like studying abroad experiences. And last but not least, um, biggest reason why. I would say the connections I've made and like the people I've met are really um, supportive and nice, and they're there for you. So, like to be more specific, like one of the top reasons that I chose U of T is because like our school has so many alumni in U of T, and I feel like I will be able to adjust to the environment with their help, and just having those mentors to look to. I think they set a really good role model for me to like um, study from them, and yeah, just to improve myself.
hmm And aside from those reasons, um, what would you say to a family that's considering sending their child to SuOn?
It depends on um, like how mature your kid is. But the biggest advice I would give is that you need to make sure that your kid choose the right group of friends, because yeah, it just shapes like their experiences a lot, because like who you surround yourself with really have a big influences on like just where you spend your time on.
Hmm. And lastly, what would be your one piece of advice to a student that is just about to enter SuOn?
My top advice would be prepared to go beyond and above, and there were so many opportunities out there that you need to like reach for. Like you've got to be proactive and open-minded.